Hello everyone, I'm Kelly Jones, Chief Instructor of Racecraft One Motorsports Training. Let's talk about expectations for the Junior Late Model eSports Next Series on the iRacing platform. Throughout the coming 6 weeks, parents and drivers will learn to use iRacing as a training tool to accelerate your development into well-rounded racers. Unique to this program is its emphasis on sportsmanship, racing skill, and character development, backed by the coaching from Racecraft One's professional instructors. The iRacing platform is far more sophisticated than console racing games on Xbox or PlayStation. In fact, iRacing is not a game at all. It is a simulation with all the complex procedures, rules, and consequences that you experience with your actual car at your local and regional racetracks. For this reason, parents and drivers must approach this series with the same attention to detail, safety awareness, and wholesome sportsmanship that you bring to your outdoor racing series. The information required to successfully race in this series extends far beyond what I can give you in this short video. Take time now and throughout the racing series to study and learn the iRacing website, interface, menus, tutorials, and helpful videos. The iRacing events also require cooperation and patience between you, your fellow drivers, parents, and race administration. And as drivers and as parents, you will experience situations during the race that do not seem entirely fair from your point of view. Realize that the big picture, the entire situation extends beyond the limited view of your simulator. Keep your head in the race, finish the race with sportsmanship and professionalism. Save and watch the replay, and trust in race administration to do our best to bring about a fair outcome. Let me stress that you must patiently navigate entirely through the full 100 race laps of the feature race. First, handle your car and your attitude, and apply your driving skill within the bounds of the racing environment. Manage your aggression and respect the racing room needed by your car and the cars of your fellow racers. I promise you, if you minimize your mistakes and carefully choose your opportunities, then you will skillfully advance through the field to arrive at the finish line with a competitive result. Often, it simply comes down to who makes the fewest mistakes. Notice that the emphasis on this series is on learning, not on winning. If you emphasize winning with single-minded aggressiveness and impatience at the expense of your fellow racers, then you will quickly face an abundance of frustrating caution laps, penalties, car damage, low finishing position, and maybe even disqualification for you and your fellow drivers. I cannot stress that enough. Incident points are assigned by iRacing. The simulation automatically penalizes you and the drivers around you for contact, bumps, spins, and crashes. Impatient driving easily hurts both you and your fellow drivers, leading to increased frustration for all. Rough driving and abusive language will not be tolerated. We must race together within the bounds of the simulation, the performance capabilities of our cars, and the limits of our respective driving skills. In other words, we're in this together. Just as there are limits within iRacing for the drivers, there are limits with respect to the scope and timing of what race administration can do with the tools at our disposal. Drivers should expect a reasonable time delay between an on-track incident and a response from race control. Remember that our resources and attention are spread across the entire track and the full field of you and 20 other cars. Time is required to search back within the simulation replay, queue up the incident in question, replay it from multiple camera views, and then communicate and render a timely decision. Depending on the circumstances, race administration's decision may come immediately, after several laps, or after the end of the race. We are not perfect, but we always strive to improve. During the race event, you may find that you cannot complete the race due to damage or disqualification. Stay connected to the event and observe your fellow racers until the race is finished. Use the different camera views and replay feature to watch what others do well and not so well through to the end of the race. Your own racing will improve by watching and learning from the mistakes and successes of your fellow racers. A mandatory post-race recap follows every feature race and is mandatory for all drivers. It is conducted using the TeamSpeak communications app, which you should have already installed and configured on your simulator's PC. This is your time to receive and give feedback between race administration, coaches, and fellow drivers. Share your viewpoints on how the race went and voice your ideas on how to improve the racing and on lessons you have learned. Save the replay after every race event. As homework, you and every other racer must watch the replay in its entirety, review your mistakes and what you did well. Note and remember the lessons learned so that you may improve and strengthen your good racing habits. You will find that the iRacing simulation software is highly structured, complex, and at times relatively unforgiving of driver errors. That is what makes our racing series challenging and rewarding. So, to review, the goal of the Junior Late Model eSports Next Series is to apply sportsmanship, develop racing skills, and build character for young up-and-coming racers. Drivers and parents will learn how to use the complex iRacing platform as a training tool for driver development. Rough driving and abusive language will not be tolerated. Racers must cooperate on track by giving proper racing room for their car and for the cars of their fellow racers. Drivers will patiently and skillfully use the entire 100 race laps to arrive at the finish line with a competitive result. If unable to complete the race, drivers will stay connected and watch and learn for the remaining laps. Drivers will attend the post-race recap using the TeamSpeak Communications app. Drivers will save the replay after each race event and thoroughly review it during the week between each race. Race administration, drivers, and parents will work together to continually improve the racing series. And finally, all of us will have fun. I'm Kelly Jones, Chief Instructor of Racecraft One Motorsports Training. Thank you.